Hi everybody, this is the first part of a new series in my channel, the Archetype Reviews. So I choose one of my favorite archetypes, the Phantasm Spiral. This archetype heavily depends on its field spell, Pacifist, the Phantasm seal. Pacifist is one of the Umi field spells, so it is always treated as Umi. It has two effects. Once per turn, if you summon a normal monster, you can add one card of this archetype from the deck to your hand. 2. If you don't have any tokens and your opponent activates a card or effect, except in the damage step, you can get a worm-type water attribute token with a decent 2000 ATK/diff, making it difficult to destroy with battle. This token is level 8 by the way, creating an excellent combo with Sea Stealth attack. Also, the token is a normal monster, so the first effect of Pacifist is triggered by this way, searching for a Phantasm Spiral card. Notice that this effect is not once per turn, so if your opponent destroys a token with an effect, the field spell just resummons it. A detriment of the card is that you cannot use any of these effects the turn you summoned an effect monster. So basically, effect monsters are not really recommended in this deck, except hand traps, for example. But what can we search with the field spell? Well, the archetype has 3 equip spells, 3 trap cards, and a monster. The monster is the Phantasm Spiral Dragon, which is part of a group of cards which quite annoys me and called monsters, which are called dragons but are not dragons. By the way, it's a level 8 water attribute worm monster with high attack and defense, and basically this monster is to be summoned with the equip spells. The equip spells can be equipped only to a normal monster. They grant battle-oriented abilities to the equipped monster, and when these abilities are used, you can special summon the Phantasm Spiral Dragon from hand, deck, or graveyard, then equip themselves to it and gain some extra benefit. More specifically, the Crash. The equipped monster can inflict piercing battle damage, and if inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can summon the Phantasm Spiral Dragon, equip this card to it, and then you can change one of your opponent's monsters into defense position. Logically, after this, you can attack with the Phantasm Spiral Dragon and inflict some more piercing damage. The Grip gives 500 attack to the equipped monster, and if it destroys the monster in battle, summon the Phantasm Spiral Dragon, equip this card to it, then inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. The last one is the Wave. Unlike the other two, it is rather a defensive card. Each turn, if the equipped monster will be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed. And at the end of the battle phase, if the equipped monster battled, special summon the dragon, equip this card to it, and your opponent discards a card. These equip spells are supported by the trap cards. The first two share the conditions that they can be used just if all your monsters are normal monsters, minimum 1. Also, they can be activated from the hand if Umi is on the field. This Umi, of course, is practically the Pacifist. They also have graveyard effects to support the equip spells. The battle targets one card your opponent controls and destroys it. The graveyard effects allows you to equip all Phantasm Spiral equip spell to one monster you control by banishing it. The power targets one effect monster your opponent controls. Until the end of the turn, it loses 1000 attack and defense, also has its effects negated. The graveyard effect can equip one Phantasm Spiral equip spell from your hand or graveyard to a normal monster you control. The third trap is kind of a black sheep, as it is not a control card as the two previous ones. Rather, it is a nearly impossible to achieve alternative win condition, granting you instant win if you have a Phantasm Spiral Dragon, equipped with 3 different Phantasm Spiral equip spells, and it destroys 3 effect monsters. Its graveyard effect can prevent one of your normal monsters from battle destruction. These are the Phantasm Spiral cards. The out-of-archetype cards and the different deck builds will be discussed in a future guide video. Now I would just briefly mention some of the more important ones. The Celestial's attack. As the tokens and the dragon are high-level water monsters, this card makes them almost indestructible. Also, it provides excellent protection for our spells, mainly the field spell. Not to mention that it can recycle our destroyed field spell. Dimensional Fissure hinders the opponent in using the graveyard. Planet Pathfinder, Terraforming, and Metaverse helps us to get earlier access to pacifist. We don't want to use too much monster effects on the field, so Skill Drain fits well in this deck. In most of the builds, we don't want to summon from the extra deck, so Pot of Extravagance and Pot of Prosperity works very well. General normal monster supports, such as the Tenyi cards, can also be useful. By adding Megal Smasher X to this deck, we can use Unexpected Day and Fish Sonar to exploit the field spell's searching skill without waiting for the opponent to activate something. Thank you for your kind attention.